Hello my friends, that's me Ravi from AccentRenju.com, the best website on the internet where you can get a lot of information in terms of your English accent and pronunciation improvement, and especially if you're a foreigner who aspires to become a native-like English speaker and sound like an American, the way I sound now, or maybe you aspire to speak like a British English speaker. This is the best website. You can source all the related information. But anyway, let's stop bragging and let's get down to business. And today's phrase is phrase number 22 out of the 50 New American Phrase Acquisition Mission. And namely, it is, for all I know, it might well be. And here's a short story how I actually decided that this whole sentence has to be a phrase for me to learn. For all I know, it might well be. You see, initially, I came across this grammar construct. It might well be. And then it got me thinking, for a simple reason that I actually hadn't heard anything like that before. Previously, I would have said things like, it might as well be. And that describes my attitude towards this or that particular thing, meaning that I'm quite indifferent. I don't care. It might well be, it might as well be this way or that way. I don't care. Let's think of an example. Let's take this mug. This is my favorite mug. I drink my morning and my evening coffee out of this mug. And previously I would have said things like, for all I care, it might as well be a mug with a crocodile's picture or a dog's picture or a cat's picture. I don't really care, it might as well be a crocodile mug. Now it's a dog's mug, but it just happened to be that I chose this one, but I don't care. And that's the expression I would have previously known, it might as well be. But then I was reading one of the Gone series book the other day, and that's where I'm actually sourcing all these American phrases from, Gone series books. They're perfect for me. You can see a lot of those books stacked up there on that shelf, and it's all dystopian fiction, and it's brilliant. The author is Michael Grant, and he's an American author, and that's why the whole mission is called American Phrase Acquisition Mission, because the author is American, and he uses a lot of American slang and expressions in them books. And one fine day, I just figured, why couldn't I set a goal, which is all part of the Fluency Gym Coach program, and I would show you guys how these things are done. If you're anything serious about your fluency improvement or your accent improvement, this is how things are done. You set a goal to do a specific thing. In my case, it's acquiring 50 new American phrases. My hobby is reading. I'm a keen reader, so I thought, why not combine the two? I'm reading, at the same time, I may as well just write down specific phrases of that fiction, and then I would learn them and add them onto my active vocabulary, And then, one fine day, going back to the original subject, I came across this construct, grammar construct, right? It might well be. So what is the difference between the original one, it might as well be, and this one, it might well be? The word as is omitted. That's the only difference, but it makes a world of difference, because it might as well be means that you don't care. It describes your indifference, but it might well be, it means that it could be. It's a probability. It's a whole new ball game. It's a totally different thing. It's nothing about your attitude. It's all about the probability. And it might well be means that it could be. And then I was thinking the other day, because you see, I was writing all these phrases down a week ago or so, and I still keep doing that, but when I went back to that phrase I had written down a couple of weeks ago, it might well be. The bad thing is I hadn't written down the longer sentence, the context was missing basically. And today when I decided that I had to learn this phrase, it might well be, I was struggling for a short period of time. I just couldn't come up with the relevant context, And then somehow, while practicing my English, you see, I engage in a lot of spoken English practice on a regular basis. And this is not only limited to these videos, you know. I'm speaking with myself pretty much the whole time. And I was trying to use that phrase, and then somehow I just said this thing. For all I know, it might well be. And then it kind of clicked. Yes, this is a valid speech pattern. And it kind of goes together. Then I just went online, I checked it, and it's a very valid speech pattern. About 250,000 Google results have been returned by using this phrase in quotation marks. You know, don't forget the quotation marks when you look up things online, you know, in terms of speech patterns and English expressions and so on and so forth. And then I realized, yes, this is it. This is a phrase I can actually use, I can relate to. And it's a very valid speech pattern. For all I know, it might well be. And here's a typical example. Let's say I'm exposed to a certain marketing campaign, you know, an ad, a TV commercial to be more specific. And then my conclusion is, for all I know, it might well be just another marketing gimmick, you know, just a trick to lure customers into buying that product. You know, they mightn't be actually truthful about all the features of that product. You know, they might be concealing the downsides, and they might be exaggerating the upsides of that product. And for all I know, it might well be just a very, very fine-tuned marketing gimmick, and it's very deceitful, and I'm not going to fall for that trap, you know. And let me think of another example. For all I know, all information we read online and in the normal media outlets might well be distorted information, because we can't guarantee that that information hasn't been twisted, you know. You can always take things out of context and put a different spin on them. So whatever we hear in the mainstream media outlets, we can't actually guarantee that that information is 100% correct. And only the first accounts, you know, when you get to speak with people who've witnessed actually things on the ground, only then you can be almost 100% sure that it's very truthful information and all the facts are clear and being relayed to you with the utmost clarity, you know. But it's almost impossible to get your hands on 100% precise information these days, you know, because everything can be twisted. And for all I know, everything we hear on news nowadays might well be a little bit deceitful, you know, to suit the owners of that media outlet, you know, to suit their agenda, to suit their opinion. So I don't really trust mainstream news. And obviously, I'm exaggerating now. This is just an example I came up to suit this particular video, you know. I'm just the same as what I was trying to describe in my example, you know. I'm just like the media owner who tries to twist the news to suit his agenda, you know. Now I'm just making up things to suit this video, and this video purpose is obviously to showcase the phrase, for all I know, it might well be. And basically that's about it, my friends. This phrase simply means, for all I know, it could be. It might well be, it could be, pretty much the same thing, with the difference that we're just using different words. But that's the beauty of the English language, and any language of the world for that matter, you know. You can say the same thing in 100 different ways, and that way you just show your ability to speak like a native English speaker, you know. And that's what this whole thing is all about, your ability to develop your language, your fluency, and your pronunciation. And that's about it, my friends. Thanks for watching, and see you soon again. Bye-bye.